Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I'm playing with my Counterfeit Kit Challenge, Mixed Media Mayhem, which is stitching splatters and mist, and Iron Crafters Challenge, which is using your specialty papers, which is awesome because I have a lot of them. I picked out this picture of my youngest at an ultrasound picture at 31 weeks, so I was like, yep, I'm going to use that because look at how pretty these butterfly acetate is. So I'm going to cut this. I know, I'm cutting it. Oh my goodness. So I had this idea in my head with the acetate and the vellum. And I put this aside at the beginning of January and let it percolate in my head for a little bit on what I wanted to do. So I thought about this for a bit. So I knew I wanted to like layer these two pieces. I didn't know I was going to use the ultrasound picture, but for what I was thinking, I thought that would be a good one to use on this. And then I'm lining it up on white cardstock, and I'm going to trace the vellum with the line I just cut for the acetate, because the acetate's see-through, but I want them to match up, but I don't want them to be like, I don't want it overlapping. So that's what I decided. So I'm cutting this. This vellum from American Crafts is super thick. Like, this is not like any vellum I've ever played with. So it's been in my stash for a while, and it's a dictionary print, so in P's of all things, but that's okay. It is, nobody's going to read it, and it's not a big deal. So that'll link up really nicely like that. Just trying to make it straight on that top, and I'm like, not sure if I actually cut that white cardstock down to 12 by 12. Because sometimes I do a batch of them and sometimes I don't. And so this one is, but that butterfly paper is a little short. So, whatever. So this is going to, you can see the tiny little bit of a white line on the bottom there. That's what I'm talking about. That's okay. So I'm going to glue this on first, just in a couple spots. The stitching is actually going to go on this piece as well, but I didn't want it moving around while I was trying to stitch it. So tiny bit of glue. I won't actually see it. I'm going to try and get it on there actually straight. And then this is going to go there, and then I'm just making sure there's enough room for my picture. So that works out really well. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on this one. I kind of wish I'd actually added more glue to the vellum because it does warp pretty good when I get going on it, but that's okay. Live and learn. And it'll go into a scrapbook page, like page protector, and it will probably flatten out anyway. So, like that. Yay. I actually have a DVD with this on it, so I took a screenshot of the DVD, so because I have like a whole little video of her ultrasound at 31 weeks because she was a pain. Both my pregnancies were higher risk, and I ended up having to have regular ultrasounds, and I was on bed rest for the last bit for both. Evie wasn't born till July, but I had a slow leak that started in May, so that was fun. But is what it is. Okay, so I have some foam underneath, and I'm going to use a needle, and I'm going to poke through both that acetate piece and the cardstock, and then I'm just going to use this pink craft thread. So it's not the embroidery, it's the one that has kind of like a braided look to it. And I'm going to use that on this, which I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but look at me just dive in. I'm just going to do it. I'm not even not worrying about it. I'm just poking holes in my paper. Look at me go. I'm glad it worked out, because if it didn't, I don't know what I would have done with all those holes in that butterfly. But so threading my needle, and then I didn't actually cut my thread, which is ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking. So cut my thread, which is not how I usually do things, but and that was sticking. And then I was trying to catch it with the loop, and then because of the way the foam was catching, I pull it and then it knotted and then I pull it right through. Ugh. Tape. Tape is your friend. There we go. And so now I can, and I'm literally just going in and out, and some of the holes are shared, some of them are not, and I just went by looks. Not all of the holes on the one side I used, but they're all covered up anyway. And then this is me doing the other one. And so there's these two that get the stitching on it. This you can actually see a little bit better than the other one because I didn't actually go off screen as much. And then the two big butterflies that are visible, I put just little stitches in the top two corners and then two of the bottom parts of the wing. And you can kind of see that on here, but I did those off screen because the way I had to do them was a little awkward. So, and then I brought in a box because I'm actually going to mist with worn lipstick. Instead of, a lot of times I use my sprays just to splatter. So using them to actually mist, like they're meant for. Imagine that. And some splatters. And so I did the splatters in the worn lipstick, and I'm going to do them in the fossilized amber so they get some glow, some gold. Whoa, words today. I am Maya. And then, because this is acetate, all of the splatter just wipes off easy because it's not going to stick there anyway. And now you can see that my paper's warped because of the misting, but whatever. And then I pulled out these happy planner stickers, and I was going to try and write 31 weeks, but it wasn't going to show on the vellum because of the way these stickers are. And then I didn't like the way it looks here. So they are clear stickers, but you see the outline of each of them, and it looked, I don't know, kind of grungy, dirty to me. And I was like, do I like it? Do I hate it? And so I get it on, and I'm like, oh, I really dislike it. And so like I used my thumb to try and like burnish some of that white out, and I don't like it. So I went into my letter stash and I found these massive gold ones. So I thought I'd spell Evie. And so at the top here, I'm like, I'm going to spell it out. And then I think about moving it to the bottom to see what it looks like. But that V is already stuck. And I'm just going to rip the paper or the E, so they're going to stay there. Which means I'm going to pull up the 31 weeks, and I'm not going to be precious about it. They are just going to go in the bin. Oh well. And then the at is going to go there. 31 is going to go here. And then weeks is going to go underneath, and I like that a lot. So, yay. And using up stuff that's old. I don't know how old these are for me, but super old. Sorry about my head in the way. I'm just trying to get that K straight. And it should be like not too bad to do, but I don't know. It wasn't as easy, and I don't think it's actually perfectly straight yet anyway, but oh well. And then I thought about fussy cutting one or two of those out to put on top, but I wasn't feeling it. And now I need something else on here. So I'm looking at what I pulled out for my kit. I'm going to pull one of these pieces, and I think this is from the Gardenia. I think this is that. I don't know. It's $49 in Market, and I've had it forever. But that doily looking piece is going to go in. So this could be like the doily challenge too. I didn't do it that way, so I'm not going to say it is, but there's a doily challenge on a Counterfeit Kit challenge right now for the first challenge of the month. So yeah, go check that out. But it wasn't anticipated to do it that way, and then I just realized that that's kind of partly a doily. Like literally right now. So I'm just looking through different things, so I thought that flower might work, and I'm like, no. And then maybe these gold ones, but the gold, this is really shiny gold, and the other is shiny too, but it's different color of gold. And so I was like, maybe I just don't like the placement. So then I'm going to flip them. Maybe I know I need something else. And I don't like that. Like, I don't know. It just is not what I want. A little bit of tape to keep that in place. I should maybe get a little more because it is warping pretty good. And then I was like, oh, there's flowers in here. And these flowers from Minte are from one of the I can't remember what gold collection it is, but it's a travel collection. And that purple is almost the same purple as those butterflies. So now it ties the purple in, and this pink is a similar color as the pink that I use, and it ties the pink in. And I'm like, yeah, yay. Just trying different florals. That is exactly the same. I don't know why I like switched it, but that's okay. I thought about this little camera, but I didn't really have a spot that I wanted it to be in. And so just taking a look. The rest of it doesn't really go, except for that one more little heart, because why not? And, oh, these are so cute. So I'm going to ruffle this up a little bit because it's not sitting straight anyway. So, well, why not? And then this is going to go in this corner, and it's overlapping the K and the S just a little bit. This is going to snuggle up right here and overlaps the acetate just a little bit. This I'm going to draw a line on so I can cut part of this off because you won't see it anyway. And then this I'm going to tuck. So a little bit on that corner and this little bit here. And then that gives me a really good layering piece for my photo. And now it's really pretty. And now I'm super happy. Hearts are going to go on. And then I realized I didn't actually glue the doily piece down. So snuck a little bit of glue underneath. And put the heart back because it wasn't quite dry. And now I'm like, I just want to tie a little more of the pink in with the other side. So this can come up still because it's only got a little bit of glue on it and that stitching and 2 tiny little sprays of the worn lipstick. And look at that. It ties it all together. I am so happy with this. I think it's so pretty. The texture of that, the stitches, so fun. And 2 specialty papers used. Look at how pretty it is. I'm so happy. So here are some close-ups. You already seen well, these are the still shots, the other close-ups. There'll be 2 playlists down in the discussions below, one for Iron Crafter and one for Mixed Media Mayhem. So make sure you take a look at that and all the other creative ladies doing the same prompts for today. And there it is, all done. Thank you so much for being here today. I do respond to all my comments, so if you commented, I will respond. Please like, subscribe, and thank you for being here. Have yourself a wonderful day.